Okay, so a customer came in and gave us a box to do, which is this. It's kind of a cooker for a pig. Normally, our machinist Bill would handle this, but Vince has been giving us welding classes, and he wanted me to take on a project. This was it. As you see, I've already assembled it, but together we're going to make one in miniature so I can show you all the processes that we use. Well, some of you out there on the internet may be looking at this and decide that a box is 5 parts. Well, that's true. I could cut out this piece, this piece, this piece, that one, and of course a bottom, and weld them all together, and it would make this box. But, you know, I really only feel like cutting once. Or, actually, in this case, it ended up being twice. Just because of availability of materials. The first thing you want to do when you're making something is have an idea of how big you're making it. I was given 25.5 inches wide, 38.5 inches long, and 1 foot high. This is the big box. I was given a sheet of steel, and I was given some measurements, right? They wanted the box to be 25.5 inches wide, 38.5 inches long, and 12 inches high, right? And all I've got is this little two-dimensional piece of steel. Well, if I measure from here to 25.5 inches, okay, and I measure another 38.5 inches from that point, and then from that point another 25.5 inches, which we'll pretend is right here, if your sheet's longer, you're going to end up with something interesting. 0.5 inches, 38.5 inches, and 25.5 inches. So, what I want you to do, after you've measured this and marked that, is I want you to also measure 12 inches down on this piece. And go across. Cut. So now this whole piece, which is 89.5 inches, exists separately and is like this. And at your 25.5 marks is where we're going to use the brake, right, for a 90-degree bend. What this does is it takes that once flat piece of steel, right, and we bend them. Alright, well, when you look at it that way, that's half a box. All I'm missing is this bottom and this side. Alright, so I go back to my piece of steel, which is now minus that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it to be 25.5 long. I measure up 25.5 and I put a mark. Okay. I go over 38.5 and I do a mark. From this mark I add another 12 inches. Okay. Bam. Bam. Okay. I'm going to mark this piece here. I'm going to cut this out of the steel. And once I cut this out of the steel and I bend at that piece, I have something like this, right? which is the other half of the box, when I add my piece. I know, I'm not the greatest artist. So, remember, what I want this box to be is 3 inches wide, 6 inches long, and 3 inches deep. Well, the width of this is indeed 3 inches. Not that you can see it with the camera, but it is 3 inches. And so that's already taken care of. But this, however, I'm going to mark this at 3 inches, making sure to keep this nice and square because nobody likes unsquare things. I'm going to go ahead and go another 6 inches over from 3 to 9. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mark that there. And then I'm going to go over to 12, another 3 inches. All right. So I have, after much ado, two and 3. This is one side of my box. Alrighty, so I've got this here, and this represents my 25.5, my 38.5, and my 25.5. We're going to make sure that this goes in there nice and square. So I will set up my square just to make sure that this is nice and straight, because any deviation in the angle is really gonna mess us up. So I take this, make sure it stays square, make sure I set it where I want, which is there. I'm gonna keep this pressed, which is kind of hard to do, by the way, but that's alright. I've got a handy dandy button that's gonna help me here momentarily. Right there, nice and straight. Bam! Alright. So, let's go ahead and get this started. Okay. Check the squareness. Good to go. Let's do this. And that's roughly a 90. So let's go ahead, release it. Alright, not looking too shabby. Let's do this other side. Go ahead and bring this down just a little bit. Make sure it's nice and centered. Which it is. Until taking one of these, and again putting it right there, nice and centered. Let's go ahead. Okay, and let's go ahead and release this. There we go. And there you have it. This is one side, two side, three side. Now all we need is this and the bottom, and we've got ourselves a box. So let's go ahead and see what we can do about that. Alright, so just like the real one, because of a materials availability issue, instead of making it out of just 2 pieces or 1 pieces, I actually had to end up making it out of 3 because I had a standard sheet of steel, which that's entirely fine. And so with my model here, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what I did. Alrighty, so I've got my square set up. I'm going to go ahead and hit this with some tacks. Go ahead and secure it where it's at. Okay. So now we've got that. If I can't fuss that loose from that. There we go. Now we've got the beginnings of a box. Let's go ahead and put another tack here in the middle. All right. Okay, so when I weld this, I'm going to lay some beads from there to there and there to there. And the idea, if this was a much larger piece, is that I would spread the heat evenly so that it doesn't warp it. But this is smaller. I'll still use the same method so that you have an idea. But I'll go ahead and get this welded together so you can kind of see the process that I used. And we'll go from there. Alright, got that started. Let's go ahead and start laying beads from here to there, and then we'll switch from there to there, from there to there, and there to there. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. And there you have it. Now, considering how small this was, I could have just ran a bead down the entire bit, but I wanted to illustrate that with the big one, you know, I spread the heat so as not to distort it too much. There is another side of this, and I do like to make things look nice. With this, I'm just going to And there you go. A little hot. Again, this much is kind of overkill for a little box like this, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what to do so that the box comes out right. Alright, let's go ahead and get this loaded now that we've got a tack. Put this here. Tack. Go ahead. Get this here. Make it look good. And we have it. One little miniature pig box right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this process. Hopefully it was a little bit of a learning experience for you. Alright, well, this is Wes from Florida Shores Truck Center, and I'm definitely signing off.